And let's take a closer look at the possibilities and challenges posed by AI. Winston Ma is an adjunct professor at NYU Law School and the author of The Hunt for Unicorns and the Digital War: How China's Tech Power Shapes the Future of AI, Blockchain, and Cyberspace. Thank you so much for joining us. So, as I'm sure you're aware, there was a big meeting earlier today at the White House, just a few hours ago, discussing the future of AI, focusing on harnessing the energy needed for AI microchips. But there's also this adjunct tied to emotion AI. Can you help viewers understand what exactly that is and why we need it?
Right. The emotional AI, as the name suggests, means artificial intelligence that can understand emotion. And more than that, it can respond with emotion, right? That means it can process a lot more information with the help of further computer vision. It can process data such as facial expression, voice, sentiment, body language, and so on, right? More than text information. And after its processing, it will respond to humans with emotion. In essence, this is a more customized AI as compared to the ChatGPT type of AI that people are already familiar with today. And you could say it is a much more customized AI, and it will help to develop a more accurate and more natural interaction between human and machines.
From a financial perspective, just how profitable is this emotion AI to companies, and where is it most commonly used, and what could future applications be?
In theory, it can be super profitable because it can become a new software, just as we have seen many SaaS software in the cloud, right? Essentially, if you have a powerful software that can drive these artificial intelligence, maybe plus some interface like computer or robots, then they can be applied in almost all industries, because you can imagine a robots with emotion capabilities can be a good AI assistant to corporate executives and employees, or even better, AI chatbots can be frontline salespeople and customer service reps understanding the emotion of angry customers, right? And in the best scenario, maybe they can even become a excellent TV anchor interviewing people like me. So overall, they can be applied broadly, and it can be quite useful if it can be adopted and incorporated into everyday human interactions.
It sounds like I might be out of a job soon. But just exactly at the moment, how much demand is there for this type of technology? And does the public even want AI that understands human emotions? I know, as you mentioned, I wish it could recognize when I've been on hold for the phone for 20 minutes, getting someone, a real human to be able to speak to fix an issue rather than going around in circles.
Right. At this moment, it's still in the early phase, but in the area of emotional campaign robots, actually, this can be a very quick application. When you think about the aging population, right? This is a global phenomenon, and people are living apart because of urbanization, etc. So essentially, there's a huge demand for robots that can not only help aging population with daily activities, but also provide emotional support, right? So in that kind of context, there will be a strong demand. But at the same time, it also goes into serious data privacy issues as well as data security issues. So it's natural that people would ask, do we really need this? And how much data protection is out there for us to go into this era of emotional AI.
Yeah, it certainly could have potential benefits for the elderly and for services at home. But what sort of regulatory scrutiny does this type of emotion AI get, and who's the arbiter? Could it pose any sort of security risks?
Yes. The data privacy and the data security issues are intertwined in this context, because essentially we're talking about the same type of personal data security and privacy issues, but more serious, right? very simply put, essentially the data issues are going from two-dimensional into three-dimensional. Right now we are mostly dealing with data in the text format, right? But here, emotional AI essentially is into the field of so-called multimodal models, meaning the computer will process data of all different formats, whether it's a voice, whether it's text, whether it's a facial expression, and then any other physical body languages, right? These non-structured data. So it will be two-dimensional into three-dimensional, from a limited format of data into multi-facet of data of personal users. So essentially, we're dealing with the same type of personal data issues in the mobile internet era. Mm-hmm. But now, in the age of AI, we're going to three-dimensional, so a lot more serious.
Yeah, only about 30 seconds left, but want to get your response to, how do we stop adversaries from accessing our IP with this type of technology? We're advancing so quickly, and we want to retain that sort of advanced position that we have.
That's an interesting question. You're talking about intellectual property protection, right? I think, as a law professor, I would say the fundamental law of IP is that ideas are not protected because innovation will be promoted, right? But the commercialization will be protected under intellectual property law. So right now, essentially, it's about more regulation to balance the power of the big tech companies, which are developing new AI based on existing knowledge out there, and the rest who developed the existing knowledge in the internet and all over the world. Right? At this moment, there's no clear regulation, but down the road, during the commercialization of AI, the users, the data providers should get a piece of that benefits.